Hey Guitars. Let's go build some junk. Don't care if it hurts. That's not good enough. That's good enough. Waha! Oh, daddy likey. Daddy very much likey. Yup! Wahoo! Yes! Okay, in the process of getting the head plate put together, it's going to have to butt up against the nut. Again, we have a 0 fret. This isn't really a nut. This is a string retainer, really. It kind of looks like a nut. I want to continue with dark, so I think I'm going to try to make one out of Wingate. So jackasses on the internet can say, is that a wood nut? Yeah. So I marked off some dimensions and chop this out and clean it up and see what happens. I look a little nutty. Okay, start with that and see what happens. Boy, that is perfectly a 1/4 inch. Clearly, I need to adjust the way I do things. I have cheated you once again. I get an idea to do just some goofy little jig or something. It's experimental. I don't know what's going to happen, how it's going to work, and it doesn't occur to me to actually record that because I'm an idiot. I got a piece of old MDF and I drew an 8-degree slope on it, and then I put it on the belt sander until I got that worn down, and then I looked at it in place on my actual headstock to make sure that it lined up perfectly with the fretboard platform, and it did. So we have a slope that's the right angle for at least this headstock, and most of mine are about 8 degrees, so it should generally work out. So I could use it as a platform to put my head plate on, and sand that bevel in with the disc sander. With the disc sander, and it just butts right up perfect and fits like a glove. So I don't know why I never bothered to do that before, but I mean, it worked fantastically. Meanwhile, I shaped our little nut down a little bit, and it's pretty close to dimensions, at least width and depth. Height is probably good too, honestly. Well, actually, what we need to do now is cut out a logo, cut out our medallion, and get all that nonsense cracking. So, what to do this very minute? I suppose it would be good if we could iron out our string lines so we can actually plot our tuners, and then base everything off of that. At this point, with just a head shape, it's pretty impossible to find a center line. I'm going to try to plot our string lines real quickie like. Now, basically, I mark like a 1/16 of an inch inside each edge of the fretboard, and use that as your lower and high E's, and then find a place on here that matches with 4 in the middle. If that made any sense. Okay, I put some, well, I've moved the tape so it looks funky now. I put some tape in place so I can mark my 1/16 of an inch on each side. Follow that through the nut and onto our head plate, so I can extend those out. Using the nut slot ruler, I marked the places I want on the nut, but I also marked 2 different places on the head so I could draw those lines out. I used my head template for the spacing between tuners, but made sure to place them just outside each string, slightly more outside on, the fatter strings. We do need to double check that that placement looks good, but we're probably in good shape. But right now, I wanted to just get started on nut slots and have those set in stone. So I'm eyeballing to make sure that we are absolutely in line with the string lines I have drawn. Just putting the slightest bit of a groove on the nut so it's there. It's not really a nut, but I'm going to keep calling it a nut because I'm a nut. Okay, just like the top of the body, and the appearance on the bottom of the fretboard, we're going to put a veneer between the top and the head. So, the best way I can figure to do that, we've got it clamped exactly where we want it. I'm going to go ahead and drill a couple registration holes right where tuners should be. If it's not exactly right, it's not going to matter, because when we actually do the glue up with toothpicks, those are going to get stuck in there anyway and need to have to be drilled back out anyway. So if we do need to adjust location a little bit, it's not the end of the world, and we'll be close enough that it will eventually, take that out anyway. So, I figure the 2 extremes probably the way to go. Now, these toothpicks aren't always super standard in their thickness. See, that's going to be tight as hell. That's what we like. And that one isn't super snug, but it's tight enough. And that should be up nice and tight against our little nut-like thing. We're not ready to do this yet. We still got to do the logo and the medallion, I'm going to call it, or access port, access cover. So, we're not really ready to do any glue ups or anything, but I did want to get this taken care of so we can double check that we got right enough veneer. Actually, it would be good to get that placed right now too. Seriously? Okay then. You dirty bitch. Awesome possum. Yeah, it's perfect. Nicely done, Mr. Green. Why, thank you, sir. Thanks for swinging by. It means the world to me that people actually watch and find some value in my goofy shenanigans. If you're one of those people, then do me a favor and like the video and subscribe so you can catch the, future junk coming up. So we always got stuff to do. So meet me back here next time. Bye.